So this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about a condition I have called celiac disease. I'm going to just introduce by telling you kind of what it is, and then I'm going to go inside and show you the type of stuff I have to prepare with me to bring on tour. So yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it. So when I was in high school, it was actually right after the band started, I was diagnosed with a condition called celiac disease. It's often misunderstood as a gluten allergy, but it is not an allergy. And also, of course, I'm not a medical professional, so obviously don't take this as like doctor information, but I'm just going to be sharing with you kind of how I got my diagnosis, what it is, all that type of stuff. So basically on your intestine, there's these little things that stick up like this, and they're called villi or villi. I don't know, people pronounce it differently, but those little guys essentially absorb the nutrients from the food that you eat. But if you have celiac disease like me, the more that you eat gluten, the more these wear away until you can't absorb nutrients from your food, which is obviously very problematic. So it's different than an allergy, obviously, in that it's like a long-term effect on you. So basically, we knew something was wrong because I was very, very light. Like I didn't weigh nearly as much as I should have. I was very pale and my hair was falling out, which now that we know why, it all makes sense, right? Because I wasn't absorbing enough nutrients from my body to be able to do the normal things that your body should be able to do. And I was very nauseous all the time as well. So long story short, I got diagnosed with celiac disease, which for me means I cannot touch gluten. Some people will say like, oh, I'm sure it's okay if you just have a little bit of whatever, like a little bite of this, but even like a little crumb can make me so horribly sick. It's got a funny name. When a celiac eats gluten, it's called getting glutened, and it's essentially like the worst food poisoning you could possibly imagine, paired with those like longer term side effects. So it's a serious thing. And I know it sounds kind of big and scary, but I just wanted to like share with you all about it because this obviously, it impacts planning for something like if you're going on tour with your band, right? So I cannot really eat at a lot of restaurants because if something just says it's gluten-free, that's not usually enough because I need there to be no cross-contamination. So the food that I am eating can't have had any type of contact at all. Couldn't be cut on the same cutting board as like a piece of bread like that has gluten in it, that type of stuff, right? And there's a lot of anxiety that comes with it because, you know, just like basically it feels like any bite of food that you have at a restaurant or whatever, there's a chance that you're going to get horribly, terribly sick in a public setting, which is a pretty bad situation. It's luckily never happened to me, but there's always that fear, you know? And so I've gotten over and gotten past a lot of that food anxiety just from traveling. Especially, I was very, very lucky to go to Iceland and Norway this past summer. It was my first time leaving Canada. And obviously in that type of setting, oh, there's a spider. Okay, we're okay. Obviously in that type of setting, you're interacting with people who, they speak English very well, but you know, it's still like their second language, so the communication can be a little bit difficult. Everything's new. There's no familiar like grocery stores or anything like that. So I would say that I got past a lot of my food anxiety by just doing it, you know, by traveling with the band, you know, going to Winnipeg, Toronto, Vancouver, by leaving the country. So anyway, that's my kind of explanation for you about generally what celiac is like. And so in a moment here, I'm going to take you inside and I'm going to show you that for me, this often means I have to carry a lot more stuff with me than like Aria and Jonah, because I have to carry food with me, right? Because if you're on the highway, you're just driving, you know, there's not often going to be a lot of, like you don't really know what type of food you're going to be able to eat, right? So we have to kind of look at that stuff in advance because I can't just eat anywhere, you know? When I'm traveling, my stop that I usually make is I'll just get food from like the grocery store. So maybe Arya and Jonah will get something from, you know, if there's a McDonald's or whatever along the way, but I go to the grocery store and I'll pick up some snacks from there. But you don't always know if there's going to be a grocery store, right? So for me, I bring a big bin with a ton of food for myself. So yeah, I'll take you guys in there. I'll just kind of break it all down for you, what the system looks like. And yeah, let's go do that. Anyone who knows me knows that I eat this butter chicken religiously. Like, I need them to sponsor me. This is Quinn's butter chicken, okay? So we'll usually kind of heat this up, put this in like a thermos or whatever, just over here. So, and I also want to say all of this food, this obviously isn't like all the food I'm going to be eating on the tour, because I do eat at like certain restaurants and whatnot. It's just sometimes, like, for example, right after you play a show or right before you play a show, you're like, okay, I need to bring food with me or have something to eat, but it's complicated often to find somewhere that's safe for me to eat. And there's like, it's just a complicated thing. So often you just want to have extra food around, just to be able to take with you, you know? You get back from the show, you're exhausted, it's like midnight. You don't really want to go look up the nearest place that's safe for me and look at reviews to see if it's safe or whatever. It's just too complicated. So we just bring a lot of food. So these are kind of a lot of the Quinn staples, the quintessentials, if you will. So I love macaroni. I've got my Annie's gluten-free macaroni. I've got some of this like ramen noodle type of stuff. So you just, you know, add hot water, put it in the pot. I really love bringing this type of stuff with me. I always have it on any type of trip we go on. It's just like a chocolate, like a protein drink. So I usually have 1 or 2 of these a day, just because they're really good at, you know, getting me more energized and ready. We also have, of course, the staples, the juice boxes. Good to get some calories into you really quick, and they got the sugars in it, which is good for energy. Speaking of sugar, we've got pudding. I like to have tea with me, you know, especially if it's a band-related trip, you know, because of all the singing and whatnot. It's also just really good when you get back into the hotel room to just have some tea, because it kind of helps, like, you know, helps you wind down and get ready for bed after all the adrenaline and everything of performing. So yeah, point is, we've got a lot of stuff here. I always bring these like paper type of plates and cutlery with me, and I bring this lunch bag as well, because I usually, like, I need to bring myself dinner for a show, right? So I just kind of put all the show snacks or whatever in here, and it's so much easier than taking, you know, a big bin or like a cooler bag or something, right? There's a lot of thought that has to go into this, right? And yeah, there's a lot of thought. So this is my medicine bag in case I get sick. There's like Gravel and Advil and all sorts of things.
Hoping you don't have to use it.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to use it, but it's you know, the peace of mind of just knowing that it's there if I need it. I could see myself making another video as we go on tour, just another celiac related video to just kind of tell you, just update you on the whole situation. I'm in a very cool situation with being a celiac on tour, because the lead vocalist, Jody of Cold fame, the band we're going with, she is a celiac as well, which, what are the chances, you know? And so her and I are probably gonna have a lot of fun adventures together.